Head coach Mike Varga from UT Martin in your second year as head coach. Coach, in your first season with your team, you fell in a heartbreaking opening round match of the OVC tournament. How does your team use that result heading into this season?
I think it's. I don't know if there's motivation because of the result from last year. I think there was disappointment last year. There was hard work over the spring season, and then it's an understanding of on my behalf of more what the OVC brings and the players that I have here. So just year one in the books. I think year two is a little more knowing what's in front of me, what's in front of the players, and yeah, very very excited to get this season off to a start.
Okay. Well, Coach, what are some of those things that you like most about your team, and maybe what some of their strengths going into the season?
I think the big key is I met the team really first day of preseason last year, so I I was impressed by the overall leadership of the upperclassmen last year, and I think that's something that's a continuing trend going into the season this year. So I'm impressed with our upper class leadership, how hard they work, how driven they are, and how excited they are to get this season off to off and rolling. And they worked hard over the summer, and I think we're ready to go. So but the leadership of the upperclassmen is has been something that's been very impressive from day one here.
Coach, you return a two-time All OVC selection, and Izzy Patterson. What are some of the key things you look from her and the rest of your attack from this for this year?
I think it's always impressive when one of your most talented players, if not your most talented player, is also your hardest working player. That's She leads by example. She talked about leadership. She's a leader that is a competitor. She hates to lose. She hates to sit. She's one of those that if our training staff isn't telling her she can't be on the field, she will sneak out there and she'll find a way to be on the field. She's a competitor, and I think that's something that carries over into the rest of the team. And those are the kind of players that you want to have leading your team. Outside of that, she's also ultra talented. She's got the ability on the ball. She's athletic. She can get out of tight space. She can do all those things that you want a central midfielder to do, and she can create opportunities for others as well as getting in the right spots to put chances on goal herself. And I anticipate a big year for Izzy this year.
Well, besides Izzy, kind of who are some of the other key players that we should be watching out for this season, and maybe even some of the newcomers to watch?
Yeah, I think we had Mackie was had a very good season for us last year. Was all conference, and she's a threat with her pace as a forward. And Peyton, I think, was on the all freshman team, so she, obviously some other conference teams took notice of her, and she brings speed and fearlessness going 1v1. And she, once again, those two are also hard workers. They work hard to get forward, but they also help us when we're defending. And now we have Naima back, who is also going to bolster our attack and help with that. Um, and then, defensively, we have Shayla had a great year last year. We lost Katie Hunt to graduation, but Shayla had a great year for us last year, solid center back. And then Parker, who has missed last year because of an injury. I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, 3 seasons ago was on the all freshman team, or might have been freshman of the year in the conference. And she seems to be healthy and ready to go. So I think those players, along with some of the new players that have come in, that are still sort of to finding their way. They're very talented with our class that we brought in, and it's just it's up to me to try to blend them and see what our best way to put the puzzle together is. But very excited about the season, and we have some players that have been through and had success here a couple of years ago when they won the conference, and looking forward to compete again for that.
Well, talking about competing again for that, Coach, what is maybe that one thing that your team needs to, to take that next step to contending for a championship this season?
I don't know if there's one thing. I think what I learned through the OVC last year, going through the conference schedule, is the top to bottom. It's very competitive. So I think you have to make a little bit of your own luck. We have to work hard. That's the non-negotiable for me, and I talk about it all the time with our team. Is we want to work, whether it's defending, whether it's getting numbers going forward in our attack. We want to make sure that we are a team that works. We are like every team. We're going to make mistakes. We don't want to be afraid of making mistakes and then turn that into more mistakes. We want to make sure that we ready to work and make up for our mistakes. And I think we have players that so far been working every day and trying to make each other better. And that's what we're sort of our goal is to try to improve, get better every day, and make each other better, and see where that takes us.
Coach, a nice little schedule that you have created in the preseason, which includes Memphis and Louisville, some pretty strong teams. How does this help prepare your team for conference play and try and get your team to where you want them to be?
Yeah, I think whenever you put a schedule together, it's that balance of you want to make sure that you are playing opponents that are going to challenge you. At the same time, you don't want to have a schedule full where you start to lose confidence. So I think we have a balance, and obviously the matches that everyone looks at right away that draw your attention are Louisville and Memphis because of the conferences they play in and the success that they've had, and rightly so, very good teams. Our goal is to compete in every match we play, and I think we have a good balance. I would have liked to had a few more home matches on the schedule this year, but that's just sort of how it fell and what was there for me when I took over. Hopefully we can get a little more to even as we get into the 25 season and beyond. But we play some opponents that have done well in their conferences that are similar to the OVC, and I think when we face those teams, what we can get out of it is we can see what works for us, or start to develop what our identity is as a team as we get into and begin conference play, and we'll see what our weaknesses are. We play some teams that will expose what our weaknesses are, and we'll see what we have to fix and clean up, and that's where you want to be, is starting to go in the right direction and start to have everything clicking when you start conference play.
Well, Coach, we definitely appreciate your time. Head Coach Mike Varga from UT Martin. We wish you the best of luck heading into this season.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, and looking forward to get this started. It's here now, and we're ready to go.
All right. Well, great. Thanks again, Coach.
All right. Thank you.